Good morning, garden friends. We're going to be starting on the end of our cul-de-sac entranceway. We're going to get it measured to determine how many timbers we're going to need to create the beds. I'm going to be planting some, sea oak grass, some autumn joy sedum, along with some yellow flag irises. I'm trying to get plants in here that are low maintenance, drought tolerant, and will be able to handle the area that we're going to be planting up today. Okay, so it's going to be this back area here that we're going to go ahead and get the timbers encased in to the other pillar, to where that way we're gonna end up building up some soil, because we already got some knockout roses in here. And then let me go ahead and turn this around so you can see along the fence what I'm talking about. The neighbors had gotten a fence painted, so this will be the area that I'm going to go probably about 18 inches out and create the garden beds. But we're gonna need Kevin to go ahead and measure so we know exactly how many timbers we're going to need. All right, so Kevin's gonna go ahead and get it measured so we can determine how many timbers we're gonna need. Because part of the reason why we're doing this is, as you can see, this is on a slope and it ends up running the dirt down. So I want to build this up, put the timbers there so that it acts as a barrier. So what is that? How many feet is that? 40 feet? So what is that? How many what's that, like 5 timbers?
8 times 40.
Yeah, so 5 timbers to do this side of the fence to get the bed created. Okay, so now this is the other area that he needs to measure, that we are going to add the timbers. So it's a nice uniform look for the garden. So what does that equate to? Oh, I couldn't hear you because of the cars. So that's what, 24 feet here for this area? 8 times 3 is 24?
Yep.
Okay, so that's what we need.
I did it straight because they're straight timbers. You can't curve them. So I had to factor straight to there, straight in front, 8 feet, and then 8 feet from there.
Okay.
That's why I did that.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start getting the timbers painted to match the fence. Give them enough time to dry and look very nice. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the brush to get into all the crevices of the timber, and then I'll end up rolling it on for the other areas. Because one of the things that we're going to do to ensure that these guys stay nice and stationary when we get them placed down there, Kevin's going to drill holes and place rebar in them. Okay guys, so you got the gist of what I'm going to be doing. So I am not going to sit here again and have you guys watch me paint the timbers. So like I said, I'm going to get all of the holes painted, then take the roller and make sure there's a nice, smooth, even coat on the tops and the sides. We're not going to worry about the bottom being painted. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do and get this knocked out. Okay, so I got the first coat on the timbers, and boy, that's going to look really nice up against for the flower bed and what I'm going to be planting in there. All right, so we got the timbers lined up. We're gonna go ahead and get them set in the ground with the rebar aluminum spikes that Kevin got that he's gonna put in here, and then we're gonna get the dirt put in. Now, to make sure that the timbers are nice and lined up, Kevin's just digging out it so that we have a nice even line with the front of the timbers. It's a nice finished look to it. Now this is to ensure that the timbers don't go anywhere, and it stays nice and square once he gets everything set. And what he's doing with that board that's across that timber across is to make sure that the distance is even with the timbers all the way down from the post. And then anywhere where the soil is a little bit higher, he's just digging it out to make sure it's nice and even. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Kevin has gotten the timbers laid down. The length flower bed that we're gonna be doing, it's about 18 inches. And going ahead and putting the soil down in the beds, and I'm going to get them swept off so it's nice and clean, and then do some touch up on the paint, and then start getting the flowers planted. I'm trying to get some of the little bit of weeds that are in here out, because really, as you can see, no grass really grows here, so I think this will end up making it look really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and get the new soil leveled off before I put the plants in. Get this area raked up because you can't stand the debris. Sweep off the timber so they're nice and clean, so I can put a final coat on the timbers, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get my sea oak grass planted, my lamb's ear planted. As I stated, the bobos that I'm propagating, I am waiting until those fully leaf out before I plant them back here. So let me go and get my other stuff together. And I'm also going to be putting bone meal in each of holes for the grasses and the lamb's ear. Got all of the bags of soil down, and then what I did was along the edge where the timbers are, I wanted that to be a nice clean edge because this is on a hill and this is our neighbor's yard, and they're on the tail end of the hill of our street. So was just trying to be able to put something in here that's pretty, that's low maintenance, that'll look really nice and help also with the erosion. It's part of the reason why I chose the plants that I have. But then I also, behind, I don't know if you can see, behind the fence, I also planted some monkey grass. Now, monkey grass is supposed to be really good for the erosion of hillsides and what have you. So I'm kind of hoping that that is going to assist in keeping a lot of that water from flowing back out here onto the sidewalk and pushing the dirt out. So I'm actually waiting for Kevin to get back, but I'm gonna go ahead and start laying out the sea oak grass for where I want it to be placed. All right, I'm gonna start drilling the holes and putting the blood meal in for the sea oak grass, but I'm gonna need to cut it because the roots are so thick. Hey Kevin, can you bring my knife? I want to be able to cut these and separate them, but I need my knife to do so before I plant them.
That is a knife.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get these guys cut and planted. I'm gonna go ahead and get them cut and placed for where I want to put them at. So, I think I was gonna put them in the center because I want to put my lamb's ear here. So, okay. Yeah. Yep. And this is the thing, because we were waiting for the painters to get done replacing the fence and painting it. When I dug these up, because I couldn't put them right in a hole, I just stored them in the bags that the mulch comes in, just to keep the roots nice and wet. Let me get the auger, the blood meal. Usually I use the biotone starter, but because, yeah, I got some good soil here, but there's a lot of clay here, so I just want to make sure this grass ends up having a good start, and it's usually hardy anyway, so it doesn't really require feeding, but I just like taking those extra precautions. And I so love the sea oak grass because it gets a very rich brownish red color to it. I'll put a photo of what it'll end up looking like once it gets in season. And it'll get probably about a good 3 to 4 feet tall, and I think it'll look nice as a backdrop for the fence. And yes, I'm using my dealer. I need one more of the grass to put back there. And these were in between. I'm placing Helen Vonstein lamb's ear here, and I think that will end up doing really, really nicely here and getting nice and full for this garden area. So I got a nice, healthy batch of it that I'm going to break off, cut off pieces, and put them in those locations. See if I can tear it. I prefer to tear them. And then get them cleaned up, those dead leaves off of here. I think I need 5. Make sure. Oh, I only need 4. And then these guys just end up growing so nice and full, you know, especially once you get the dead stuff off of it, give it good air circulation. This area gets a lot of sun, so they will end up doing really, really well. Now, I'm going to be putting some more flowers in here, more perennials with color for the seasons, and then also some annuals I'm going to be putting in here to finish out this bed. Now these might be small size. I could do 2. I'm gonna clean it up and make 2, but if I need to combine it, I'll do that just to get that fullness to it. And this is one thing about lambs here. When you end up uprooting it, disturbing the roots, like any plant, it goes through shock. But I'll be coming out here making sure that any of the leaves that have died back, that I go ahead and get those cleaned up, so that that has the nice air circulation. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, get this area cleaned up, do the touch-up painting, and then I'll show you the finished bed for now, because I am going to put some Bobo hydrangeas in here, the ones that I have been propagating. I also have a limelight that I'm gonna put on the corner here. I think that'll look really pretty to have a huge hydrangea there. And then in between, I'm looking at black-eyed Susies, I'm looking at some lavender, I'm looking at some annuals to add in here so that we have a nice array of color. So let me go ahead and get this cleaned up, and once I get it completely finished, you know, when I'm coming to plant the hydrangeas and the perennials and the annuals, I'll go ahead and share that with you too. All right, guys, the first level of this garden bed is done. Like I said, gonna put some Bobos in here, some perennial that will allow us to have color here. So I'm really happy with how this is starting to turn out. And like I said, the sea oak grass will get about 3 foot tall. The lamb's ear will fill in really, really nicely. And then, like I said, to accentuate the rest of the bed with perennials and annuals. All right, so we got this too edged out, but this area needs a little bit more work to it. I did put some of the sea oak grass behind the rose bushes to act as a backdrop. Hopefully get all of this filled in with some good topsoil, and then just fill it up with perennials and annuals to have a beautiful front entrance to Alexander Place. All right, garden friends, this is the first part of the beautification of our front entrance of our cul-de-sac. I'll be finishing up on part 2 of the transformation. Thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner. And if you enjoy my content, please subscribe. And I look forward to you checking out my next video.